70% of facilities managers don't fully understand their maintenance responsibilities, especially with all of the new legislation. But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Lisa, and today we will walk through what your responsibilities are if you are an accountable person under the Building Safety Act, which was introduced after the Grenfell Tower fire. While the Grenfell inquiry made recommendations related to high-rise residential buildings in England, the Building Safety Act now has a wider reach and covers any higher risk building in England. The Building Safety Act defines an accountable person as someone responsible for managing the fire and structural safety risks of high-risk buildings. But who exactly is an accountable person, and what are their specific legal obligations? We will get into that shortly, but first we need to define a high-risk building. High-risk buildings are at least 18 metres or at least 7 stories high, and they must contain at least 2 residential units. Want to check whether your building is considered high risk? Check out the government guidance via the link in the comments of this video. Back to the accountable person. How do you know if you are one? An accountable person is an organisation or individual who owns or has a legal obligation to repair the common parts of a building, both inside and out. They may be a person or an organisation required under the terms of a lease or by any legislation to repair and maintain the building. Depending on the ownership of the building, this could include freeholders, estate owners, landlords, management companies, resident management companies, right to manage companies, and common hold associations. Where the accountable person is an organisation, an individual within the organisation will need to be authorised as the single point of contact for the building safety regulator. That does not make them the accountable person, as that is still the organisation. Where there is only one accountable person, they are responsible for managing the structural and fire safety risks in the common parts of the building, residential units, common hold units, balconies, including those attached to individual residential units, any other part of the building that is not covered by the Regulatory Reform Fire Safety Order. If there is more than one accountable person for your building, each is responsible for managing the structural and fire safety risks in the common parts they own or must repair and maintain under a lease, balconies, including those attached to the outside of the building that they own or must repair and maintain, any residential unit that can be let to a tenant, excluding lets on a long lease. High-risk buildings with multiple accountable persons must work with all others to deliver building safety to residents who live there. But what are their responsibilities? You must maintain crucial building information in a digital format from the design phase and throughout the building life cycle, including a record of who makes the key decisions. This is your golden thread of information. The golden thread is made up of 2 parts: building work and maintenance. This ensures that any modifications or enhancements to the building are accurately documented so that building owners can proactively identify potential risks and hazards and take any necessary corrective action. As the accountable person, you must take all reasonable steps to prevent building safety risks from happening, including risking the severity of any incidents if they happen. This includes reporting on fire and structural safety risks and incidents, ensuring building residents are kept informed about the building safety, and carry out any duties on the resident engagement strategy. Preparing the building's safety case so that you can prove to the building safety regulator that the building safety is being properly managed. Ensuring all building safety information is with the correct regulatory body, and notifying the building safety regulator about any changes to an accountable person. It's safe to say that this is an important role. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you might want to distinguish between the roles of an accountable person and the principal accountable person. Check out the next video in this series to find out the difference, so you can be sure of all your compliance responsibilities.
Did you enjoy this video? Subscribe today to get the latest tips from SFG 20, the industry standard for building maintenance.